Welcome to a brand new episode of Movie Talk on Ocean Chicks Films. I'm your host, Karen, and tonight in the broadcast studio we have Pic-A-Flic video store owner Kent Bendall. Kent is going to talk to us about his video rental store, physical media, and movies. So sit back and enjoy the interview, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to a brand new episode of Movie Talk on Ocean Chicks Films. Tonight in the studio, we have Kent Bendall, owner of the video store Pic-A-Flic here on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada. Hey, Kent.
Hello. Great to be here.
Going?
It's going great.
Glad to have you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody is super excited to see this video, and
I find that hard to believe. But if you say so.
Yeah. Well, they can't believe when I tell them that I actually have a video store that I get to go to and rent videos.
Yeah, I can't believe that I have a video store in 2022.
Yeah.
When people say, how do you do it? How come there's still a store open? I don't have an answer. Like, it's an anomaly. I'm barely hanging on. I'm not like, it's not a success. It's not a growing opportunity, but I really believe in it. So I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Really glad to hear that. And Speaking of that, when did it start? When did you open? And how did that all kind of take place to where you are now? Because I know you've moved to different locations.
Yeah, the store opened in Cook Street Village I'm pretty sure it was 1983. The original owner, Tom, opened it in one location and then moved it after a couple years to the location it had been in for a long time at 328 Cook Street, right in the heart of the Cook Street Village.
Right.
I started working there in 2001. So the store had been open for a while.
Right.
And it had the reputation in town as being the kind of movie connoisseur video store. I mean, there were video stores everywhere in the 90s, but Pic-A-Flic was known if you wanted something foreign or something weird or something esoteric, you go to Pic-A-Flic. So when I came in, I was lucky enough everyone wanted to work there too, because it was the cool store. I knew some people who worked there, so they got me an in, and I started working, and I'm like, this is the greatest job ever. So I worked there for like 15 years, became manager. Then the opportunity came up like 6 years ago now to buy the store from the then owners, and stupidly I said yes.
Smartly you said yes.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine it closing. And then I thought, what else am I going to do? I'm good at managing a video store, but that's about it. And I couldn't imagine Victoria not having a video store, not having a place you could go and see pink flamingos because you want to go see pink flamingos that weekend, something weird.
So you're the only video store in town, right?
Not exactly. No. We're the only strictly video store. There's still Oswego Video in James Bay.
Okay.
But they're kind of a corner store, pet food store, video store, and the pawn shop downtown rents videos as well.
Yeah.
But as far as just a dedicated, that's all we do.
Right.
That's us.
Yeah. So cool.
And I'm continually getting like new stuff in as well as older stuff. So I don't know if a lot of the other stores, maintain their catalog all that well.
Right. Have that kind of selection. You're in a different neighborhood now, you said. You moved.
Yeah, the building sold I knew it was up for sale. So it sold about a year after I bought the place, and condo development imminent, I was told. So I had to get out of there, and I found a spot in Fernwood, kind of at the Oak Bay Junction, which is right in the middle of all the cool neighborhoods in town. It's Oak Bay, Fernwood, Fairfield, downtown.
Yep.
Right smack in the middle. So it was really great. It's a good location.
Yeah. It's a good location.
Yeah.
Good clientele there.
It's great having an apartment building right above you. So that helps. And it's a pretty densely populated neighborhood. Lots of apartments, lots of student housing and stuff. So we get a lot of younger people in, which is neat.
Awesome. How many titles do you have? Because I know you have a lot.
Over 27,000. Yeah, it's It's ridiculous when I think of it.
And I wouldn't see them all.
Yeah, and then I keep getting more, right? So it just screws up the whole thing. Yeah, no, there's when I run the report every now and then, it's just like we have how many? Like
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like
it'd be
thousands
really cool
upon thousands.
to be locked in your store and be able to just watch all of those movies. Oh my gosh.
Just alphabetically start at A and just go.
Yeah. You have everything in sections, I know, in your store. So what are some of the more popular sections that you have?
The one section that's kept the store going forever is the British section. Especially when we were in the Cook Street Village, and now still that we're close to Oak Bay, definitely very Victorian neighborhoods, and people love the British mystery series, like love them. Midsummer Murders, Foyle's War, anything like that. If it's a mystery series set in Britain, they'll eat it up. They're just voracious about it. So we've always been the store that gets that stuff in. Other stores do now, but back in the heyday, we were known for that especially. So that's still probably the number one section in the store.
That's cool. I would
Is stuff
not
from
have
Britain.
guessed that.
Yeah, I know. British mysteries still. Followed now by Scandinavian mysteries because people love all the Scando noir stuff based on novels. So that's taken off. And then new releases, probably drama, action, sci-fi horror. Yeah.
Is horror down the bottom?
It's not at the bottom because
No?
we have some pretty, and have always had some pretty weird exclusive horror.
Yeah.
Like just today, a guy phoned me up at the store tonight and said, "Do you take donations?" And I'm like, "Of course we do. What is it?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm these guys I know on YouTube just made this horror film. I forget what it's called now. They're like, they just made this horror film. It's like a 40-minute film, and they just want to get it out there. I think it'd be cool if it was in a video store." And I'm like, "Send it to me, and I'll put it on the shelf."
You do it?
Yeah, so he's gonna send me
he's
gonna send me this movie. And I'm like, okay, if some guys made it, and they want it seen, I'll help them get it out there.
Well, that's really cool. Because a lot of stuff's been filmed here before, too, right? And we still get stuff filmed here in Victoria.
Oh, constantly.
Like, there's a huge film thing. Lots of kids and stuff doing, like, films.
Yeah,
Here, right?
Yeah, lots of Hallmark films they're filming, but...
yeah.
Like, every week there's some filming somewhere, and like, it's a Hallmark Christmas special. But it's work for people.
Like the one with the dogs.
Yeah. What is it, Super Dogs or something?
I think so, yeah. There's been several of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most available at my store for rent. So
awesome. You have a section.
No, we should. A filmed in Victoria section, but it would be... yeah. I mean, there's been stuff filmed in Victoria going back to the 60s, so...
Right.
It's always a neat thing to look into and see some old movies. You're like, oh, wow, they did shoot that here, so...
It's very cool. I just learned from you that the Changeling.
Yeah.
Some of it was filmed here at Royal Roads, hey?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And that movie is a classic scary movie still. So it's neat that we have a hometown connection to it.
Yeah, very, very cool. So you also have a really cool cult section too, right at the back. I love that. That's so awesome.
That's one of the other things that kept the store going, I think. We always had just weird stuff. Like I remember first going to Pic-A-Flic when I was in high school, and I was in Esquimalt High. We lived over in Esquimalt. We'd catch 2 buses just to go to Pic-A-Flic so we could rent The Prisoner. The British series of The Prisoner, because nowhere else had it, but Pic-A-Flic did. And that's where I saw, like, Andy Warhol's Frankenstein and just Fritz the Cat and all these weird, seminal classics. So, and it's neat seeing new generations of filmgoers come in, and they always discover, Jodorowsky or something, and they're renting The Holy Mountain, or they want to rent Pink Floyd The Wall, or now it's The Room, There's all these kind of rite of passage films to see if you're into weird film.
Right. So you've been a movie nerd your whole life.
Yeah. Growing up, I remember going to the library and just getting books out on the history of film and just like looking through. And this was because I'm old. This was like video at home era. So I would just read about all these old movies, from the 20s and 30s and be like,
Yeah.
I'll never get a chance to see those movies. And then along come the 80s and it's like, you can have a movie player in your house and watch all the movies you want. And I started just going to the video store constantly, and like I can watch Ben-Hur, I can watch The Ten Commandments, I can watch Rosemary's Baby, just anything I want.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And then I started collecting movies and going to movies constantly, and then the job came up at the video store and it just seemed perfect. And then I just got just more into it because I was exposed to more foreign films and documentaries and all sorts of stuff. So it's it's been great.
Do you find you're constantly learning? Like you could never have seen everything?
Yes. People are constantly recommending me stuff, and I'm like, I really want to see that. And it's just, I don't have the time, or the list in my head is massively long of things I have to see, or things I want to check out, or I'll hear about some director or some new movement that's happening in, Greece or something with their film. And I'll be like, oh, I should check that out. So there's always something.
What are some of your favorite movies?
I love old stuff, classic stuff. The Adventures of Robin Hood from 1938 with Errol Flynn is probably like my favorite movie of all time. It's just a swashbuckler, adventure, romance thing. I love Purple Rain starring Prince. I've seen it hundreds of times.
Yeah.
The 80s classics, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, things like that.
Right, yeah. That's a great one.
I mentioned Rosemary's Baby earlier. Love the scary stuff like The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, originally Evil Dead. Hereditary I thought was great.
Yeah.
There's some new stuff out there that's really good. Midsummer was fantastic.
Right. Have you seen the new movie Antlers yet?
No, I want to.
Do you have that one in yet?
We do. Actually, I have an extra copy for sale if anybody wants it. But, that's on my list for sure. I watched instead the other day, Titane. Have you heard of this French film?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
If you want
to feel uncomfortable for 2 hours, it's the way to go. Yeah, I just felt squeamish for most of it.
Really?
Just like unsettled, and things would happen. I'd be like, oh no, just no. Like not very horrifying or anything, but just a bad feeling for the whole thing.
Really? Okay, good to know.
So, job accomplished, but I don't know who I can recommend it to.
Really?
Yeah. So it was weird.
Good to know. So when you get newer releases in, how does that work? Say from the theater to the video store. What kind of time frame happens there?
It used to be in the olden days. A movie would be in the theater and it'd be about a year later before it came out on DVD.
Right. Yeah.
Then it was about 6 months, and that was the sort of standard for a while. Right around the time Netflix came in, I think it changed and it shifted to a 3-month window.
Wow.
And now it's some stuff's like at 2 months. Like I just got the new Ghostbusters in. Spencer, I just got the new James Bond, Dune. I mean, that's still in theaters. So they've really shrunk the time down. So it's up to me to order what I think is going to be, because I order stuff basically when it's in the theaters. So I have to order it for 2 months down the line, hoping that it'll be a hit and I don't get stuck with a lot of copies of things.
Yeah.
But I can usually tell. It's like something like Dune. It's like people are asking for it. I'll get it. But it's the smaller independent stuff that I'll take a chance on something because it has a good review, or like with horror films, especially because there's so many. If somebody requests something or I hear something online and it just sounds interesting, I'll maybe order one on a whim and just see if it takes off.
Right. And then those copies stay in the store and they get recycled into the main section.
We put them out into our new section for a month or two and give people a chance to see what's new, and then after they rent for a little while they get merged into the older sections. So our catalog, then our library is always expanding, so we're always bulking it up. Right.
That's very cool. And you also sell product in your shop too, right? You have posters, and do you carry some local things? And I know you have candy cigarettes too.
We have candy
And
sticks,
bubble gum
candy
and pink
sticks.
popcorn.
Yeah. With I always wanted to be somewhere where I could sell pink popcorn because that stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so hard on your mouth, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get a lot of retro candy in.
Yeah. That's
Some movie.
fun. My daughter, I'm so glad that you're still around and that she can experience that because that's a really cool thing to go rent a movie and get some, vintage
Get a bag of candy.
and-
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, totally.
And then I found out a couple years ago that people love Studio Ghibli and people love anything with Totoro on it.
Right.
So I can basically get in T-shirts or mugs or hats or bags or stickers, anything with Totoro on it. I'll sell chopsticks, So I'm always looking for stuff like that, and yeah, some posters and I don't know. I've thought lunch boxes. Yeah. For a while in the old store, and I may get back into it. I was selling lucha libre masks. Wrestling masks, yeah. I would import them from Mexico and sell them.
Wow.
I'd buy them in bulk and then sell them up here, which was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know if COVID times people want to be trying on masks and stuff.
Right.
Because it's
maybe
you want to be putting things on your face and looking at your friends and
you could wait
making faces. Yeah, because it'll be over soon.
Yeah, exactly. Be positive. Do you still have that vintage old VHS collection of the Twilight Zone episodes?
People have been buying them quite a bit.
So how did you get that?
Somebody gave it to me. Somebody said, I got this box of Twilight Zone episodes. Do you want them? And I'm like, sure. And I didn't realize that they were these cool Columbia House mail order ones, and everyone was in a little booklet that had episode synopsis. And I'm like, these are cool. And I had them displayed for the longest time. And then I thought somebody probably wants these. Yeah, I got about a dozen left.
Okay.
But yeah, because I'm like,
That's cool.
To sell them all as one set would have been, I think, kind of dumb, expensive, but for a few bucks here and there, some people think they're really great. And they're great gifts, I guess. People like getting something odd, And what's odder than a Twilight Zone VHS?
Yeah, very cool. That's very cool. So what are your thoughts on the future of physical media, and the streaming and all of that jazz? What are your...
Unfortunately, during the pandemic, what's been reinforced into everybody's mind is convenience of just having things brought to you at home by the push of a button, whether it's your food or your entertainment or whatever. It's just stay at home and do it on your phone or do it on your TV. Just push a button. So that's the hardest thing to compete against in the future is convenience. And getting a movie at home, it's so convenient to do it by pushing a button, going on Netflix. And otherwise, my way, you have to get up and you have to go out and do things and talk to people. But again, that's the other reason why there is still a video store, because people do like to go out and talk to people and get a movie and interact and not just sit on their couch. So there is a bit of a swing back, but it's when Netflix launched in Canada, there was like an immediate just crash in the number of video stores across the country, like decimated like 70% of them pretty much. And every year it just drops a little bit more. But there's always, like I said, there's always this swing back of people who are getting tired of all the streaming services and all these options to get you everything. So it's tenuous, my relationship with the streaming services.
Right. Yeah.
And physical media, they've been saying physical media is going away for at least 15 years now. Every year there's a story, the death of physical media. It was CDs were gonna go away. Vinyl was already gone, and now it's come back in huge ways. So I can't see, as long as they keep making blockbuster movies, people are gonna want to own copies of The Matrix and Star Wars and Star Trek, and so I think it's a thing. Yeah. It's a thing for a little while longer, anyways.
Right, and you have a good selection now of Blu-rays too, right? And
Couple
do you
thousand
also
Blu-rays,
have
yeah.
the 4K?
4K is never took off. I got about half a dozen discs in a couple years ago,
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago, and they've never rented. About every 7 or 8 months, somebody will call and ask if we have any, and I'll tell them the titles, and they won't rent them.
Right.
I don't
But
have
they don't
great,
make everything in the 4K, right?
not yet, and it's just I have to
I haven't
decide.
even seen a 4K.
I haven't either, but I have to decide, like as a business owner, if I want to rebuy a movie for the third time, and if I can make its money back. Because if it's something like, say, The Matrix, I
Yeah.
bought The Matrix on VHS, I bought it on DVD,
Right.
then I upgraded it to Blu-ray, and now if I want to buy the 4K version, it's going to cost me. They're more expensive, of course, so it'll cost me
Yeah.
like $35 or $40, and I have to rent that out at $3 a
Right.
time to make its money back.
Yeah.
And by that point, everybody's seen The Matrix, you know? So I don't think they're going to care about a 4K version. It's just
Right.
like 3D Blu-ray. 3D Blu-rays were supposed to be this huge thing.
Right.
And everyone was going to have 3D TVs, and every film was going to be shot in 3D. And it just went away.
Went away,
It
yeah.
just went away.
Yeah. I know lots of people that still watch VHS.
Yeah, that's weird.
lot.
That's
I have
weird to me.
VHS myself.
I actually I do have a few as well,
Yeah.
but yeah, I find that weird. It's like listening to music on cassette. It's like you can get it where it's better looking, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's true. That's true. It's kind
I'm
of
like-
having the vintage stuff though.
Yeah. I was just all happy when I remember when DVDs came out, and it's like, so I get the movie, and I don't have to rewind it, and it's got
You don't have to
extra stuff on
rewind.
it. I was like stoked about the extra things they would, bonus features they would put on it,
Yeah.
and I can't imagine that going away.
Will
Like,
you
that's-
eventually switch over to Blu-ray then?
No,
You're going to have a mix of both?
DVD is still the prominent renter by
Yeah.
like maybe 80-20%
Okay,
wise. When we changed to, and that's another reason why I wouldn't switch to 4K. We had just switched to Blu-ray, and then minded that was 12 years ago.
Right.
And a lot of customers didn't really follow that
Yeah.
transition. So to expect them to jump again to another format,
Right.
it would be a big investment if I wanted to like duplicate the catalog or something. So
Yeah.
for now, it's predominantly DVD, and then Blu-rays on films I think need them. The big sci-fi spectacles, we get those on Blu-ray. The Marvel movies you'll get on Blu-ray.
Right.
If it's an indie drama, probably not the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'll still watch. Everything I own is DVD. So I
Yeah.
maybe have one Blu-ray and that's it.
Oh,
So
you got to get
I'm
more.
cool either way. I just like to see the movie. That's
There
all
you
I
go.
want to see is see the movie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh no, I get it entirely. Yeah, as long I've watched some horrible copies of things just to see them.
Yes. So last question, and also we were talking that maybe we'll get together another time and do a live stream, and then people can
Sure.
come in and chat and stuff, right? You're cool with
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Okay.
sure.
You guys heard it here.
Anything you wanted to
He's
know
gonna
about the
force me
video
to do
store?
my first live stream by myself.
Yeah.
I'm up for it. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So last question. So tell everybody where your location is and your hours and maybe the specials that you run during the week.
Yeah. We're located
So they can know.
at 1519 Pandora Avenue in Victoria, BC, which is right up by the Oak Bay Junction. It's across the street from Stadacona Park with the tennis courts. It's right by Origin Bakery, which is the big gluten-free bakery in town, and the Tartan
They have
Toque
great
on the other side
cinnamon
of us. They do.
Your
And
store
then
always smells like cinnamon.
yeah, I get there every morning and it smells like fresh baked bread. It's good and bad.
Good.
So yeah, that's where we are. We're open 7 days a week. Sundays and Mondays noon till 6. Tuesdays and Wednesdays noon till 7. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are our special days. Tuesday is a 2-for-1 rental day. Wednesday is the big deal where you can rent 5 movies for 5 days for $5.
I love that day.
Yeah, everybody does. Thursday we're open till 6. Fridays and Saturdays we're open noon till 8 right now.
Yep.
We have to close Mondays and Thursdays early because I have band practice those nights.
Okay. Band practice?
Band practice.
Band practice.
Band practice. No, I play in a like that. That's exactly how I play in a band.
Yeah, that's cool. So, yeah, people can come there, and I will link everything in the description down below. Too.
Yeah, we're on Facebook and Instagram. I try to update those things pretty regularly. We have a
I'll
dormant
post everything.
TikTok account.
Oh, yeah. I don't know TikTok, really.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy to do dances all day, so
I love watching your Instagram, though. It's really fun, because you post really fun things.
I try to make it something people are going to look at, and
Yeah, no,
not
it's
just
good.
whatever, somebody on a beach.
Yeah,
Got enough of
super
those.
good.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Anything else you
Okay.
need?
I think that's everything. Maybe we'll save some of the rest for when we do the live stream.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll let you go because I know you've had a long day at work and you're probably ready to do some rest and do it all over again tomorrow. So
Yes, as I do.
yeah.
Okay, cool. If you need anything else, just let me know or get a hold of me at the store.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks,
Okay,
Karen.
Thanks so much.
No problem.
See you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I sure did. It was a lot of fun talking to Kent. And I'll have all of his information, socials, website, that kind of thing in the description box below for you to check him out. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a like because it helps me a lot, and subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews, interviews, Final Girls of Horror, and countdowns, that kind of thing. I just want to say thank you guys so much again for stopping by. I love you all, and we'll see you again next time. Bye, guys.